All right, we're ready to start part 4. What's part 4 about? Things to consider about your next home. And we've got our special guest star, Maureen, today. Thanks for stopping in, Maureen.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And I really wanted you here because we're going to be talking about what people should be considering. And you go through those conversations, those exercises with clients all the time, and you know how to pull out the right information.
And it's always fun.
It really is. So we have this great, this booklet. If you haven't got yours yet, go ahead and download it because it's going to be very helpful. There's a lot of good things in there that you'll want to refer back to over and over again. So probably the most important thing is figuring out what's really important to somebody and what they just respond, naturally. It's like, oh yeah, this is important. Is that usually what we find, that it's important at the end of the day?
There's a lot of times, where it's something totally different that's important, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of several clients that have wanted one thing and they end up getting like 180-degree opposite of the other thing.
Yeah.
And they're even happy.
Exactly. I mean, the best example is what we went through when we bought our house here. I wanted for sure an acre, and I wanted a bigger house than 1,300 square foot. That was really for sure, because that was my little house in California. But I thought, I want a big lot. And it turned out I have a standard size lot, and I love it. It's perfect. When I saw how big an acre is, I said, who's going to take care of all that? So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so expectations sometimes change when you actually get here.
Right. So it's good to, so when we moved up here from California, our agent didn't help us go through those steps, and we were looking for this, and eventually we found this. But the process was like, well, we ended up looking at 80-some houses before we figured out what we were really looking for. We don't want you to go through that. So some of the things we want to have you do is do your research first. If you're already up here in the Treasure Valley, it's going to be super easy for you. You can go drive through neighborhoods, look at parks, things like that. If someone is already living up here, what else do you think is important that they should be checking out?
I mean, if they're already living here, it's really the easiest. And then you're probably going to look for, now if you have children, you're going to look for the school. Do you want to be close to the school? Do you want to be close to any other activities that are out here? Do you want to close to the river, to the zoo, whatever it is? The most difficult part, I think, is for the people that are not here. And then doing your research is trying to figure out, okay, what are you looking for? Do you want country living? But then you need to be aware of a couple of other things.
So we've got in our book, the next thing to do is to choose a neighborhood that you love.
Yes.
So it's like, if you find a house that you love, but it's in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to take myself as an example. Okay. How we found our neighborhood was Google View.
Really?
Yep. That's how I knew which neighborhood I wanted to be.
And this is when you were still out of the area, though.
Still out of the area. I've never been here. I started looking at Google View to see how does it actually look like. Is it green? Is it brown? What to expect. And then I looked for the greenest spot and found my little triangle where I wanted to stay in.
Right.
And that's where I bought it.
Nice. So if you aren't living up here, like Maureen wasn't when she was doing this, obviously we're going to encourage you to make your fact-finding trip.
Oh, and we did.
Right.
We did. I knew my little area. We came out, and that's where we straight went to that area. And then we explored a little bit outside that area just to make sure that we really picked the right one. And luckily, yes, we did.
So the internet's a great way and doing things remote is a great way to eliminate potential properties.
Yes.
It's like, there's no way I'm going to live in this community, but then you came across the one in Eagle and you said, this is someplace I want to go check out when I'm on my fact-finding trip. So when you're on your fact-finding trip, you don't have that much time.
That's
And if
right.
you've eliminated a lot of the stuff before you get here, then we can really focus in and get you in the house you want.
Yeah, and we had people that have never been here before and are very satisfied with where they bought in. How did we do that? We showed them the area, your videos showed them the areas.
And we're their eyes and ears,
Eyes and
and
ears.
you're their nose.
And the nose.
So this is a big one too, is lifestyles, because where you move to, like if you had moved to that 1 acre, your lifestyle would be completely different.
Yeah, I would be cutting my grass right now.
Sure. And then your kids wouldn't be able to like stay in the house and do homework. They'd have to be out there pulling weeds and
That's right. That's right. They would also not have friends right very close just across the street because everything is just further away if you have more land.
so lifestyle is a big thing.
It's a big thing. Yes. And here we comes. It's location, 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 and it could be just that one lot that makes that location.
Very true. So if you're relocating from out of state, everything we're talking about still applies to you. There are just those few extra things, like we were just talking about, where your eyes and ears here. So we'll help you eliminate different possibilities, whether for town or homes. So when you do come up on your fact-finding trip, it's going to be hyper-focused. Being realistic. So it's like there's things you want. Obviously, there's all these things you'd like in your perfect house, but you're probably not going to get everything that you want in your house. And probably at the end of the day, once you get into your house and it's got 80% of the stuff that you wanted, then I think you'll probably be very happy. But there are some things that are wants and some things that are needs. Mm-hmm. What discussions have you had with people trying to come to terms with that's just a want and not a need, and what is it that you really need?
I think it's first off, after you have determined in what kind of lifestyle you're looking at, there is a couple of things you can't change on your home purchase. So if you need to have bathrooms, you can change it, but that comes with a big cost. So if you know you need 2 bathrooms, please don't look for a house that has only 1 bathroom. Mm-hmm. Because that is going to be a bigger expense to change. You could, but it's harder to change. And we went with some clients through that process where we saw wonderful homes and it was great, but then it's like, I can't change this. Not easily. I can't change it easily. Yep.
So, that reminds me, in our previous segment, we were talking with the lender, and we were talking about, the cost to waiting. And one of the things when you buy a house is you're getting a mortgage, a lot of people do anyway, but that is something that can change. So if down the road interest rates fall, you can refinance. So what I'm saying is if you find the perfect house, but yet the rates are kind of high, it's going to be hard to change the number of bathrooms, but to refinance to a lower rate, if you can get a lower rate because rates have fallen, that's a pretty easy thing to do. There was a long way around, but we got there.
Not sure why we got there, but
just sheer luck.
that's what you wanted to say.
Essential questions when considering your next home. Are these so these are some I just kind of made up, but I'm sure there's going to be some more that you've probably thought of or had those conversations with people.
Yeah, you need to kind of, when you have your area figured out where you would like to be, so it starts off with you want to be in Idaho, of course. And then you're going to narrow it down. Do you want to be on the east side or do you want to be on the west side? And of course, you're going to come to the Treasure Valley. And then you will see when you start looking at homes that the cost of what you would like to spend on your house or your budget or where you're comfortable with what you would like to spend on your house, you will see that will determine in which areas you're looking. Is that one of the essential questions, what the cost is of there?
Well, yeah, obviously
right?
that's a huge one, right? But you're absolutely right. Let's say you have 2 similar homes. Maybe it is a half an acre, but you're like right near Boise, maybe in Boise. It's going to be a lot more expensive than if you moved out to Parma or Wilder.
That's right. That's right. And then, of course, what else do you have? It's your closing cost, it's utilities, it's how close is everything to you, how convenient can you go shopping, how close is the airport? That was an important one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a client that just moved into a small town, probably 30 minutes outside of the population center, and he still commutes in, but because where he came from, he commuted for hours every single day. Now he commutes for, less than an hour. And I was kind of like that when I first moved here. It's like, oh, I have to go someplace in California and it's going to be, an hour to get there, 45 minutes. It's like, oh, no big deal. But now if I have to drive, like 10 minutes, it's like, are we there yet? So your attitude changes once you're up here for a while. And you're talking about expenses after you move in, your utilities. That, I think it's going to be a big change for a lot of people, especially if you come from California. You're going to say, oh my gosh, it's so much cheaper here.
Yeah, gas, for
Right.
sure, electricity.
But if you move out further in the country, oftentimes you'll have propane, like a propane tank, or you'll be in an all-electric home, and those costs can be different. I don't know that electric central heating furnaces are a whole lot cheaper. I think they're probably a lot more expensive than gas-fired furnaces.
Yeah.
So will be some different things to compare from one house to the next. An HOA might be another thing. My HOA is under $200 a year. We have a couple little parks, and that's about it within our community. But that one over, was it Sky Mesa, has 2 or 3 pools and a clubhouse, and
a tennis court.
their HOA is a little bit more than mine.
Just a little.
So those are amenities, one of those two that you guys find important. It's probably going to be worth that extra money. But if it's not, maybe a community without those things, and it could save some money. So what's included in the sale of a home? Gosh. So it's like someone's looking at a house. Usually on the listing, it says what the seller's just offering up to start with to include in the home.
I think the biggest is that most sellers do not include the washer and dryer and the refrigerator.
Ah.
This is something, it's most likely negotiable, but I think what I've found out that a lot of people expecting it to be included in the sale, and that's a big question. What is included? Sometimes there's play structures outside that are included. Furniture, typically not. It's also something the lender doesn't really like to lend money on. It's not real estate. It's
Right.
personal property.
And then with new construction, sometimes a backyard's not included.
That's right.
Wow.
Backyard fence,
French drain,
French drain.
right?
Yeah.
And then another thing is when you're looking at a particular house, whether it's online or we're out showing you, you'll see the DOM number. That's days on the market. And that can be an indication of what?
Motivation of the seller.
Ah,
I think that is a big one. If it looks very good on paper, you think, wow, why is nobody taking that house? There could be something. If it's long on the market than every other house and the price is right, then I guess the no's need to go into that house.
and that kind of goes along with why is the seller moving?
Yeah.
Is there a
that's very true.
motivation there?
Yeah. Now, why are they moving? What's the history in general of the house? How often do people move in and out? How frequent?
And didn't you have
Is it being sold?
an example recently of a seller that wasn't motivated? And what happened there?
He's getting motivated. It's been on the market now for several months, I think.
Yeah.
And just got an update. Yes, getting motivated. Yeah, trying to go in high, hoping somebody will catch it. Didn't
Right.
work out. Here we go. We can make it work.
Interesting. Is the home prone to natural disasters? Those are things that you can find out.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
we don't have very many.
No.
Although,
Yeah.
that hurricane,
That hurricane, tropical storm,
Hillary,
Hillary.
right? It rained up here because of that
Yeah.
for a couple hours.
And it didn't rain on my side.
No?
No.
Oh, wow. I'm over on the south side of the valley, so I guess that was the difference. The property's history. So Idaho, I mean, if you're in California, I just keep saying California because I have some experience there, but in California, if someone dies in the house, you have to report that. In Idaho, no, it's
No.
like, nah. And
You can find out if you would like to.
oh, the neighbors will love to talk.
Exactly.
Let's see what the area. So is this house priced right? That's where we're going to be helping you out.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorites.
Nice. That is important too.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want anybody to pay too much for a house.
Right.
It gets emotional too quick.
Uh-huh.
So don't move in until you actually have the keys.
So a lot of people think, coming up with a CMA, that's a comparable market analysis, is just for something a seller needs when they figure out the price. But a buyer really needs to know that too.
Yep.
What's the neighborhood like? I think we could kind of gone over that. Knowing if you go out there yourself. But there are a couple things too. In Nampa, we have the sugar beet factory. And the internet's all abuzz about, oh, it stinks, blah, blah, blah. Well, when it does put out an odor, which is usually only like December, January timeframe when they're processing them sugar beets, it smells like burnt peanut butter. It's not a bad smell. I don't think so.
It's okay. I would say it's like a 50-50 situation where people say it's okay and the other.
Kind of like cilantro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not every day you smell that. And I don't know, maybe it's like a couple times a year that.
Yeah. I think being closer to the freeway, that's something, it will always be there. You will always hear the road noise.
Right.
Is that, you will see prices are going to be lower the closer you get to the freeway.
And I had a family that's looking for that little acreage, and they saw the pictures of this one house, and they were not up here yet. They're still in California. And they go, oh my gosh, this is absolutely great. So I did some research, and it didn't take long. I pulled up the Google map, and I go, look, 100 yards away is a train track. And it's a very, it's something that gets used all the time. And they go, oh my gosh, thanks, Dave. We didn't even see that. Let's move on to the next one. So that's another neighborhood thing.
Yeah.
Oh, are there any events? So I do have a client that lives close to the Fort Idaho Center. So he gets to see all the fireworks displays, and when the bands come, he can hear them.
That's convenient. It's free.
Actually, he loves it.
I can imagine.
But not
yeah.
everybody would. Not me. I'd be out there shaking my pitchfork. So we do have over on the next page in your booklet the criteria. These are things just to kind of stimulate your thinking process. Kind of go through those. Talk these over. It's not just you. It's the family. Well, if you bring in your family with you, maybe you're just going to move and not tell them. I hadn't thought about that in time, but so use those, and also check off the ones that you want to talk with us about as well, because we want to be your sounding board. We're going to keep asking you questions so you kind of get a little bit more firm idea of what exactly you're looking for, so you don't have to look at 80 houses. So if there's a situation where someone has to sell a property before they buy, how does that work out? Does that just like leave them out of the water until they get their house sold and then they come up here and have to rent, or?
No, I would say absolutely not. All sides have to work together. The agent selling the house, wherever it is, and then us here, and we can make it a smooth transition. So as soon as you made that decision that you wanted to move, I think that's when we're going to start.
And the sooner the better.
And the sooner the better.
Nice. Same thing that we said about talking with your lender. The sooner the better.
Yeah. Don't wait. Don't just come here and hope to find the right place.
Right.
You might feel a little bit pressured. I would say just start very early, the whole process. We show properties to people that are saying we're not going to move until in 2 years. But it gives them a better idea what to expect.
Exactly.
And what to look forward to.
Right. And because there's some people that have this idea that we don't even have electricity up here. And then they come up and they see, a regular standard home, like a CBH or a Hubble. And because we are a little bit further north, we have like very thick walls. So it has lots of insulation and they're very high quality homes.
Yeah, and we do have ACs, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I heard Oregon. Everybody from Oregon is asking, do you guys have central air? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody.
It gets hot for like, I think on average, we have 2 weeks a year that we're in triple digits for the heat on average. There's going to be some weird years. This year was fabulous.
It was fantastic, wonderful summer.
And then I have my personal story in there. You guys could take a look at that and just know that we did go through that process of looking at 80 some houses. And gosh darn it, our agent was such the nicest guy. But we took up more of his time. And so I had retired and came up here. So we had nothing but time and we enjoyed talking with him. But I know we wasted so much of his time. So if he would have asked those questions ahead of time.
Yeah.
We could have saved him some time.
I think one of the first questions I usually ask is, have you thought about new construction? And then whatever that is, the biggest difference on new construction and an existing house is if you buy new construction, you don't have to worry for at least 10 years. But you don't have mature landscape, most likely. You will not. And you might still have some noise around you for a few more years. And I think that is one point to determine, okay, where should we look?
Right.
And that's a big one.
It's a good point. Before I moved up here, when I was still living in that little ratty house there, it was a new house was just like a concept I didn't even have, because it's like, wow, new house, that's got to be way expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes, I think new construction is running about, existing homes are about 98% of what a new construction cost. So they're almost the exact same price. And you know what? It just shocked me when I found out when you buy a new house, the roof is new, the HVAC is new,
Yeah.
the flooring's new.
Yep. Cabinets are new.
I had no idea.
Paint, carpet, everything.
So what's your agent going to be doing? So you're out looking at homes. Maybe, you're not ready to bother an agent yet. Well, bother us. That's what we're here for. We're going to give you advice.
Yes.
But also, you want to go out and check out those neighborhoods at different times of day and things like that. So while they're doing those kind of things, what kind of stuff are we doing behind the scenes?
I think right now there's we're looking for somebody for a property, and it looks very good. Everything looks good on the paper, but then it's like, what's the surrounding area gonna look like in the next couple of years?
Right.
So I think that's a big part too. Is just making sure, especially if you buy a little bit outside, countryside, now on acreage, what's going in, because right across the street there's going to be coming in more houses, things like that. So we're trying to really make sure we cover all.
It's sort of
all
like
areas.
Between Nampa and Meridian, they're extending the highway from Star down to the freeway, and there's like where people used to live out in the country. Now they're going to have a big 4-6 lane freeway right there.
And we looked at property before they started construction for somebody, and we was wondering, I said, wow, that is a really wonderful price.
Now
Now they have the perfect view on that new stretch of street.
And when you're living in a regular subdivision that's already been plotted and platted and all that, that's one thing. But if you are in that country property, there's different things like easements or shared driveway agreements that we'll be checking out.
Absolutely. And of course, we're gonna go out and go house hunting for you. If there is a property where we feel like this could match your criteria, then you will get a video of that just to find out, okay, is that what you're looking for? Would the kitchen work for you? Does the size of the house work? How about the lot? When you step out in your backyard, is that enough space? Things like that.
And you don't have to be someone in California or Oregon or Washington. It's like if you're up here, but you've got one of those hectic schedules and you want to see what this particular house is like, we go out and we will do that same video tour for you, even though you're not here, just because it's, more convenient for you. And like I say, it's not to get you to buy that particular house, but to find a reason why you don't want to buy it.
Exactly. I think you don't want to have the regret, oh, I should have seen it. We just had that situation where somebody got sick and was unable to see the house. They were here for their fact-finding trip. Got sick, couldn't see that house, and so we shot a video, and it's all good.
Nice.
We were fine. We're gonna let that go, and we feel good about it.
Which is the whole point is, it's like, let's find a reason not to move forward with that house. So when you are out looking at a house, we're going to get all in the car, we're going to meet you out there, whatever it is. I've got this great little checklist that, you can print off as many copies if you need. We got a clipboard they can borrow if they don't have one of their own. And as you're going through the house, mark these these things, how did it impress you? Was it good, bad, or those were great? Any other little comments? And because I got to tell you, after you've seen 40, 60, 80 houses, they all start to blend in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like, and I do like this question at the bottom of each house. So it's like, for this house, what do I want to do? Do I want to come back and look at it again? Sleep on it and then come back? Do I just need more information? Am I ready to put in an offer? Or is it like, yeah, maybe it's kind of ish? Or it's like, nope, let's just take it off the list. So it's like, when you come back, you don't have to go through 40 houses that we saw. Oh no, what was good? You can just go through those ones that you said, yeah, I want to check out this further. And it's just like, it helps you out so much, helps us out too, huh?
Yeah. I don't think we even get to 40 houses before we find the right one.
What do you suppose the most houses we've ever shown anybody is?
The most houses.
Could it be Jack? Because Jack was particular because he wanted us to check the toilets. It needed to be strong enough to pull your arm off. And there's not that many houses, but they don't put that in the information that you find online. Will this toilet take your arm off? No, you have to go out to each house and take a look.
I would say on average, it's about 20. Wow. 20 would be, looking for a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So if we get up to 20, you guys are doing fine because you're just like normal. So those are some of the things to consider when you're looking for your next home. What's next in the process? Well, it's going to be the process. And there's a space on here. If you have any questions that come to mind that you want to make sure you don't forget to ask us, go ahead and jot those down. And we're going to go ahead and get the process figured out so you can come in and watch that on episode 5, or is it segment 5, or sorry, back in TV land or something there. But Maureen, thank you so much for coming by today and going through our things to consider about your next home. Was there any last little things that I forgot to ask you?
No, I think it's just shoot questions out. Give us a question. Yeah.
Communication. Oh my gosh, that is such a big thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, I'm sorry.
No, if you see a house online where you think this would be the perfect house, that's the one I would like to see.
Nice. And if you're not here, let us know because
exactly,
we'll go do a video.
Yeah.
Love it.
And if it's just for me too, or for you, for Dave, or for us to see, what are you looking for? What do you think at this moment you actually need, or what is perfect for you? And then we will find another one.
I like it. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you on the next one. Wow, there's an incredible amount of things to consider about your next home. And just as incredible is finding out what a buyer consultation is all about. So just click below and find out, or if you need to sell as well, click below and a real live human will research and tell you what your home is worth. Now let's get down to the home stretch and find out about the process from home search to closing. Click the video button now. And if you'd like to watch our full on-demand buyer webinar for free, click the link in the description below.